I'd like to begin with an oral ruling regarding the redactions made to the transcript and direct broadcasting today. The Chamber notes that redactions were made to the transcript and to the direct broadcast of the hearing subsequent to an application by the prosecution and which was opposed by the defense. The application of the requested redactions apparently would be a problem and could lead to hearings being held in closed session. The Chamber wishes to recall an earlier ruling during which the Chamber stressed that it is up to the parties and participants to ensure that their submissions are worded in such a way as to avoid going into closed sessions, thus ensuring the transparency of the proceedings and to avoid the disclosure of confidential information. The Chamber would remind the parties to comply with these instructions. Furthermore, the Chamber is of the view that the information that was asked to be redacted and also from the direct broadcast today were limited to identifying information of witnesses and victims mentioned during the submissions. The defense disclosed information on several occasions that allowed for the identification of victims and witnesses. For example, positions held and nicknames, things that must not be disclosed so as to ensure the protection of witnesses and victims. The redactions had only to do with identifying information and were not as general redactions to the events within the case. This was the appropriate recourse to implement the Chamber's duty to protect the safety and well-being, including psychological well-being, the dignity and privacy of victims and witnesses in accordance with Article 68 of the Rome Statute, without having to hold the hearing in private or closed session. Thus, the Chamber has decided to maintain the redactions that were applied earlier and reminds the defense not to disclose information that may not be necessary and information that could identify witnesses and victims in accordance with Article 8 of the Code of Conduct of Counsel.